Yo, what is going on, guys? So this woman right here is a therapist, but she is not just any therapist, okay? She is a TikTok therapist for women who has even less qualifications of giving you advice than an actual therapist. So she has released a video here, guys, saying that her, along with modern women, are essentially too pretty, and that is why men do not want to date them. Now, I can go on and on about why men don't want to date them, but let's take a listen to what she has to say first, and then we will jump into some ridiculous clips from other women who are also on TikTok. What a surprise. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. And also, today's video, guys, the majority of it is courtesy of Locke the Bounty Hunter. I'm going to leave his channel linked in the video description. Well, let's take a listen to this woman.
If you're a pretty girl, you might struggle with this. This isn't a therapist point of view. I have to explain this to my clients because they don't get it. But I'll have a gorgeous client come in, like a 10, and she'll be like, why is this? I'm like, sweetie, it's because of how you look. And so I have to break it down for them. Then I also have to teach them how to be more cautious and then how to handle themselves because of what they look like. There's a whole shift in it. So if you're constantly complimented on your looks, there are higher risks for you.
Right, so let's get this straight, okay? Whenever a woman is coached by this therapist, this is what she calls herself. Again, I don't think she's actually a licensed therapist, which is why I specifically said that she's a TikTok therapist, which is even worse. But, you know, apparently the women come to her and they're sad, okay? Typically, this is obviously going to be because some dude doesn't want to commit to them. You know, they come in, oh, he ghosted me again, I can't believe it. This is the woes of the modern woman. And her solution to this, guys, is like, well, it's because you're too pretty, obviously. Let's continue.
Okay, in work, in school, in religion, and whatever you do, people are anxiously waiting to see you fail.
I promise you, lady, nobody cares that much about you. Nobody is sitting here anxiously waiting for you to fail or to do anything in particular. Nobody gives a damn. There is something about these people on TikTok, man. They think that everybody's just watching their entire life. Most people do not care about what other people are doing. I don't care how pretty you think you are. I don't care how fantastic, you think you are. Most people are just trying to get by. And they see ridiculous crap all the time, and they simply don't care, as long as it doesn't affect them. But, these people on TikTok, guys, they just think that they're the center of the universe. Oh, people are preying on your downfall. Like, who the hell does this woman think she is? I don't even know who the hell this is. I have a video on her, which she posts publicly, but I've never seen this woman before in my entire life.
There are higher risks for you, okay? In work, in school, in religion, and whatever you do, people are anxiously waiting to see you fail, okay? They want to see you fail and then spread it like wildfire. It really helps soothe their ego. They really want to know that you're not perfect. You might have had trouble having really good friends, or you feel isolated, lonely, because it's really hard to find women who are not in competition. Even your looks, and you could be the best person on the inside, but your looks could just trigger someone of their insecurity. You're a constant reminder for them.
Okay, so a lot to unpack here. I've always suspected this, guys, about modern women. I think that, there are so many of them who say, look at all my friends, they've got thousands of followers on Instagram, right? They've got hundreds of Facebook friends, and they've got so many friends, guys. But I have suspected for the longest time that really a lot of modern women, they think they have a lot of friends, but they just don't, right? They will backstab each other at the first opportunity. They will chase each other's boyfriends and so on and so forth. I have seen so many women, they are apparently friends with each other, but the amount of crap that they talk behind each other's back is absolutely insane. This has nothing to do with you thinking that you're pretty, by the way. This is just something I've observed. It doesn't really matter how pretty the woman is or how pretty she thinks she is. A lot of modern women don't really have friends. The ones that say that they have a lot of friends really do not, to be honest with you. hilarious stuff here. Let's keep
Your
going.
looks, and you could be the best person on the inside, but your looks could just trigger someone of their insecurity. You're a constant reminder for them. Also,
I just love, by the way, how like, you know, it's all about insecurity with these women on TikTok. You don't like something, you know, you're not her friend, you don't ask her out on a date, you're just insecure. Like, they just love throwing out the word insecure, man. I don't think I've really, some dudes will throw out this word, but really most guys are just like, this kind of shaming language is really kind of more specific to the women on TikTok. If you don't agree with them, you don't like them, you're not that your friend, their friend, you don't agree with them, oh, you're insecure, and they'll start throwing out all of the other insults. You know, it's absolutely classic.
so a lot of women, if they see you as a threat, they're going to try to drag you to be extremely close to them because they want to be you. And some weird shiz happens. It's really weird. So psychologists say this, and it's so true. You are very polarizing. There's no neutral. So for women, some women might see you and be like inspired and look up to you and want to be your friend. And then other women might look at you and hate your guts, look for gossip, look for all the wrong things. And then for men, they might see you and be excited to talk to you, want to take you out. And then the other side of men is they're insecure and they think that you're just going to reject them, so they're just going to hate you first. I find that women who are known for their looks have to do double the work to prove that they're smart, to prove that they're a good worker. I find it's just really interesting. Also, people might think that you earn things because of the way you look.
I mean, of course you do, right? Like, everybody knows this, okay? If you're a woman and you're highly attractive, you are essentially living life on easy mode. This is no secret. This is no, oh, but maybe. This is no people just speculating because they're insecure. Women in general, to be honest with you, most definitely, particularly with dating, by the way, have life on absolute easy mode. Okay, you can have a woman who is a McDonald's worker, and some dude will still be interested in her if she's actually a pleasant person. You know, your career doesn't matter, your status doesn't matter. You know, half the time, guys, these women are horrible people, and dudes will still try and make things happen and try and have relationships or hook up with them and things like this and give them gifts. I mean, how many times, guys, do you see a woman who's completely intolerable and dudes will just give her free things, right? Free attention, free validation, free resources, free status. Okay, dudes have to earn things the hard way. This is absolutely true. You know, oh, people think that women are privileged, and no, you absolutely are. There is no two ways about this. But she said something else that was quite stupid back here. Oh yeah, of course, right? Now we're labeling men as insecure. You know, at a certain point, when you constantly call people insecure, they just don't care anymore. You know, the words just lose all of their meaning. I encourage women, man, go out here, keep throwing these insults, keep saying these things, because what ends up happening is people just become desensitized to it, and they just realize that it's useless shaming language. Let's continue.
Reject them, so they're just going to hate you first. I find that women who are known for their looks have to do double the work to prove that they're smart, to prove that they're a good worker. I find it's just really interesting. Also, people might think that you earn things because of the way you look, and that is so degrading and annoying. Of like, nope, I worked my butt off for this. But it could be true that you did get someone because of your looks, and that's called pretty privilege. But again, you just have to work a lot harder. Also, aside.
So apparently, guys, if you're a super attractive individual, you have to work a lot harder. I mean, I'm just not buying this. And also, guys, it's just, these people don't understand. But when you come on the internet, because this woman is obviously trying to talk about herself here too, right? She's obviously very invested in this. She's very very frustrated by the whole situation, or she's just very passionate on behalf of other people. But the moment you come on the internet and you start saying things like this, you immediately become unattractive. By the way, you could be the most attractive woman, whatever, right? But you come on the internet and you start making rants like this, and dudes will just be like, oh, hell no, man. I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm just going to go do anything else, because I mean this politely. It's not going to be very polite, but I mean this politely. men just can't tolerate you. That's really what it comes down to. It, and people just don't want to tolerate this kind of narcissism. They don't. It might surprise a lot of modern women to know, but men are not really interested in dating women who sit in their cars recording TikTok videos about how pretty they and women are. You know what I mean? Like, this is just not really. Men don't really have lists, but if they did, this one wouldn't be on the requirements list, you know?
No, I find a lot of women who are extremely beautiful have very beautiful friends who are extremely successful. And that's the only way they can have really good friends, is if they're at the same level, if not more. There is just no escaping that people are going to talk about you, and you need to like accept that and let that sink in. And in doing that, you will become the most successful version of yourself. Once you kind of embrace all the good and negative sides to you, you just kind of learn to be yourself, and you can succeed a lot more when you embrace being beautiful, embrace being pretty, and not see it as a bad thing.
What is this narcissism, guys? I swear to you, right? Like, half the time I see these female self-improvement videos, it has actually nothing to do with improving yourself and everything to do with essentially just becoming more and more narcissistic. You know, there's no going to the gym, there's no eating better, there's no taking care of your health, right? There's no levels of introspection and maybe considering, hey, perhaps I did something wrong, right? Perhaps I shouldn't have cheated on that last relationship. You know, none of these sorts of things that I personally would consider some degree of growth. It's always just these TikTok videos that are like, hey, you need to understand that you're beautiful. like, what the hell, man? What, like, women have such bad role models. Men do too, by the way, especially with social media. The role models for men are complete and absolute jokes. I saw as of recording this video, guys, I saw like the new Superman trailer. I didn't watch the trailer, I just saw the thumbnail to it, and I'm like, why is this guy, he just doesn't even look like Superman anymore, guys. Like, the role models for men and women these days are just not what they used to be. They really are not. Now, hopefully, I don't know, I only saw the thumbnail, but hopefully it's fantastic. But if the way modern media has been going these last few years, I'm not exactly very hopeful. But let's continue here.
And of course, it's not a bad thing to be pretty, but there are just pros and cons to everything. Let me know what you guys think and what you have experienced. But sorry, this is kind of a negative video, but these are just some things that I feel like I had to explain to my clients.
Yeah, guys. So this woman, she has clients. She's a TikTok therapist. I've always said, if you're looking, you know, as a man, perhaps you're very ambitious, you're looking to make an absolute bag on the internet, just become like some sort of feminine energy coach or something, guys. Head on over to TikTok, start telling women how stunning and beautiful they are, and just start making narcissistic content. And I don't know, sell like a $2,000 course. Now, when you're very rich and successful, guys, make sure you credit me. I will be expecting a cut. No, I'm just kidding, but I'm only half kidding there, because I think a lot of these women make an absolute crap ton of money just going out there and lying to women, guys. So go out there, become the successful businessmen of the TikTok world, because these feminine energy coaches, guys, they can't do it by themselves. What is this one? Okay, so here, this next one here, apparently, guys, again, keep in mind, women are too pretty, and that's why men don't want to do anything to do with them. This woman next here is, she's not ranting in her car, but she's ranting on her, I don't know, her headphones here. New York City woman going on a date. Let's take a listen.
Men have officially lost their minds. It is 5:04 and I'm on my way to a date. This guy thought it would be a really convenient, friendly, easy idea for me to go on a date directly from work. In what world am I showing up with my work bag on a date? My work bag is also my gym bag, which also contains my really sweaty, really smelly clothes from this morning. I don't think anyone wants that on a date. But 5:30, what if I work in finance? What if I have a stressful job? I mean, I don't. But also, who wants to go on a date with someone who is showing up in their work outfit? That doesn't.
How many seconds are we into this video? 28 seconds. This woman has already said like 2,000 words. I'm so tired, guys. Like, when I watch these videos, my mind just becomes exhausted. So my question is, right, I don't know who this woman is. I'm not listening to her across from a table or something. You know, I'm not the one who's going out on dinner dates with these women. But I tell you what, I feel very bad for the men who are, because I am probably, you know, a very long distance away from these women. I don't have to meet them or ever see them, and I can't stand them. So, you know, what does that say for the dudes who are out there trying to date them? Guys, I have got to say, dating for men is absolute trash, right? Because I mean, granted, this woman is in New York City, which is an extra kind of special hellhole for dating and finding, you know, a wife or a long-term relationship or anything like that. Again, I don't advocate for men to get married because I think it's a scam. But if this is what constitutes an option for a man, no thank you, man. Again, we're like 28 seconds in and my brain has imploded from the amount of things that this woman has said.
Doesn't sound cute.
Oh, poor you.
You know it's a dark day in hell when a modern woman needs a schmuck on the internet to come online and to tell her about the subtle nuances known as scheduling. But okay, woman, sure, why not? Here's your first lesson. If a man is proposing a date with you and the time is inconvenient, then you communicate to that man that the time is inconvenient and you would appreciate it if he could reschedule. I know! What a concept, right?
Yeah, see, the problem is, right, is you lost this woman the moment you said the word communicate, right? These women, what they want from dudes, okay, is they want us to just read their minds, know what they are thinking, and then go from there. And if we don't adjust it, right, if we don't understand what she's thinking, then we're the problem, you see? Classic, guys. Absolute classic.
Right? But you don't want to do that. You live in a magical fantasy world where a man is just supposed to magically know your scheduling, even though you've never said anything about that. And when he doesn't magically know, you then go online and start relentlessly complaining and conjuring up scenarios that don't apply to you or your current so-called predicament. I mean, seriously, woman, this could have all been easily avoided if you just told the guy you needed an hour to get ready. But no, if you did that, then you wouldn't have drama for your worthless TikTok channel.
Imagine, by the way, imagine being this dude who, you know, you invite one of these modern women out on a date. You work up the courage, guys. You ask her to have a date with you. And so you go and you think it goes well. And then you find her TikTok account afterwards, and she's just making videos like this, ranting about how you didn't psychically know that this was a bad time for the woman. I mean, it is, guys, it is so painful listening to these modern women. I'm actually just losing my sanity, man. I wonder how the date goes. Like, because this guy, he must arrive and he must listen to this woman for like 30 seconds and he must think to himself, oh boy, I should have just stayed home after work. You know, I should have just done anything else aside from spend time with this woman.
If you did that, then you wouldn't have drama for your worthless TikTok channel. And we all know where your priorities lie when it comes to that garbage.
Before anyone says, oh, you could have easily suggested a different time, I was sent a screenshot of a reservation, which I think is such a amazingly hot way to ask someone out. And I'm not trying to rain on your parade. You took the initiative. I like to reward good behavior. I don't want to be planning any of our early dates, but
guys, so, you know, she likes to reward good behavior in men. You see, the language that's being used here, what it really tells me is not only does it have a tinge of patronization to it, but also the implication here, by the way, guys, is that this woman has done this a million times, okay? And this is one of the many reasons why dudes don't want to ask these women out on dates, by the way, is because what the hell is the point in asking a woman out on a date when she's already been on 50 of them? You know, like, I'm not going to be number 51. I'm not interested. I don't think a lot of men are interested. Like, how embarrassing is this, guys? You're out here, you organize things because you're supposed to, apparently, right? And she's not going to do it out of sheer ego. You organize things. You pay for things. You take her out to dinner or whatever the case may be. And you find out that you went through all this, and then 50 plus dudes have also done this before you. Like, no thank you. And by the way, that's not even counting the men that didn't have to take her out on a date, who she hooked up with anyway. This is a complete scam for dudes, okay? Dudes back in the day, they used to put in all of this effort. They used to approach, they used to ask women out on dates. They used to be romantic, chivalrous, and so on, because the women were actually worth it and they hadn't been with a whole bunch of different dudes. The women in New York City, guys, every time I see a woman from New York City, it is shocking. Most metropolitan areas, in fact, particularly in America and Western countries, are just absolutely terrible. I don't even know how these women get dates in the first place, man. I really don't. Now, I understand exactly why dudes don't want relationships with them. That makes perfect sense to me.
5:30. Oh my goodness gracious. For all he knows, I'm about to show up with my subway shoes.
And
So you don't want to complain about the fact that the man took the initiative and asked you out on a date the way you wanted to be asked out on a date, and then you start complaining that this man asked you out on a date because the scheduling was way too inconvenient. Don't you see what you're doing here, lady? You've set this man up for failure so that no matter what he does, he's always in the wrong. This man took the initiative and did the one thing that you wanted him to do, but then you complained because he didn't do it the right way. I mean, for the love of the intergalactic space god with Blubicard, all hail. How do you expect a man to win when you won't let him? And all of this complaining that you're doing is about stuff that men really don't care about. That man, for reasons that are a mystery to all of us, want to take you out on a date, and he is not going to care about what shoes you're wearing.
Yeah, I mean, this is the story for modern dudes, isn't it, right? It's like, no matter which way you actually approach these situations, you're still completely in the wrong. Okay, you know, you don't approach the woman, then she's pissed off about it, or she thinks, you know, so excuse me, let's just say you approach the woman. I mean, most of the time you're going to be considered creepy, okay? But then if you don't approach the woman, then you somehow don't like women, or you're intimidated and things like this. It's like dudes just can't win, man. They just cannot win with a lot of these modern women. What the hell is this? Okay, so this is the next clip here. Good question. What the hell is this, Taylor? I don't know what we're looking at. This is a woman who's on TikTok. Perhaps we're about to receive some dating advice. I think the previous clip had more footage in it. I just couldn't bring myself to watch it. And so we're going to continue on to the next woman, guys. And again, these clips never really do run out, do they? Let's take a listen.
You see someone eating by themselves at a huge family restaurant, right? Some people may think, wow, that's so cool, that's so empowering, she's so independent. Some people might think, oh, she's so lonely, what is she doing? All of these things depend on so many factors of that person watching you.
I have to say this again. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You go out to a restaurant, you go out to some location, somebody's sitting by themselves. I don't care. Nobody gives a damn except for you, right? I swear to you guys, these people, they think that they are literally the center of the universe and people are hyper-analyzing their behaviors. Guys, I make videos on this stuff where I directly respond to the videos that they're making and their situations, and I barely give a damn. In fact, I don't care. So imagine how strangers feel, you know, the people who are just walking by you.
All of these opinions have nothing to do with me. The lowest common denominator of this experience is that I'm eating by myself. Everything else has nothing to do with me, and I have no control of these outcomes. I have no control of what these people think about me. So why should I care?
Just by the way, you do have the ability to influence how people perceive you. Most people don't care. But modern women, they like to simultaneously, they like to use this as justification for, well, I can't control what people think of me. People will notice you, especially if they're trying to consider you for any sort of romantic relationship, right? I see so many videos where women, they'll dress half unclothed and then call men insecure because they don't want their girlfriends going out like that. No, like people do perceive you, especially in certain environments. But modern women just like to take no accountability for this whatsoever.
Of these outcomes, I have no control of what these people think about me. So why should I care?
that's not my problem. It's yours.
Okay, woman, let's just get something out of the way here. Nobody cares that you're at a restaurant eating food by yourself.
Exactly what I said, man. Like this was exactly my thought as well. I don't think anybody truly gives a damn. You know, like Oh my goodness. She's got a microphone set up, she's got her thing on the table here. Like the audacity you have to have, man, to sit there and set up a camera pointed at yourself, have some microphone to just rant to your TikTok about people, noticing you is crazy.
You're the only one who cares. You care so much that you set up your camera and made a TikTok video about why you shouldn't care, why people care about why you're sitting by yourself at a restaurant. That is a lot of work for something you don't care about, woman. And it's kind of pathetic that I need to be the one to explain to you the concept of restaurants, but hey, it's the 21st century, sister. Nothing's off the table anymore. So here's the thing about restaurants. Hungry people go to restaurants because they exchange money for food. And
I love how whenever Locke covers these videos, man, he has to dumb it down so much for the women in the videos, by the way. Like they are so many layers removed from reality that when Locke explains it to them, it's like he just has to dumb it down so severely.
they're focused on the food they want to eat and not on the dietary habits of some random woman who's sitting by herself. So enjoy your solitary meal, woman, because with the way you're acting, it's going to be happening quite a bit. But let me assure you, woman, no matter how many times you eat by yourself at a restaurant, none of us will give a damn.
You're welcome. Hey, you're welcome. Hey, don't mention it. Use that freedom in any way you like.
If you
Okay, so last clip of today. Guys, I'm running out of patience, man. I really am. What is this? If you never want a guy to forget about you. Okay, so what is this? TikTok dating advice, guys. So we have gone from, what have we gone from? TikTok fake therapist. I mean, TikTok therapist and fake therapist are basically the same thing. To a woman dating in New York City, to the woman sitting at a table thinking that people give a damn about her. Have you noticed the theme of narcissism, by the way? And then we have this individual here who's going to give us dating advice, guys. Now, the majority of people who watch this channel are men. We have like 3.5 women who watch this channel. But, most of us are men. So let's see if this woman's advice is accurate or not.
Never want a guy to forget about you. Always no caller ID, call him. Always call him on no caller ID. And on no caller ID, just say like it's for work. I don't know, I just make up an excuse, okay? Always call him on no caller ID, and you want to know why? Because for the rest of that guy's fucking life, every single time he gets a no caller ID call, his brain is going to subconsciously think that it's you, and he's going to be like, oh my god, she's calling me. For the rest of his life, this man is going to be reminded of you every single time he gets a no caller ID call. You're welcome.
Great plan.
Thank you. He likes your plan, Chief.
What I find absolutely fascinating about this kind of stuff is that these women provide absolutely zero proof that their assumptions just magically work out in the real world.
Yeah, see, what they do, right, is because she's so delusional, so she thinks that men are as delusional as her. Guys, I cannot understate how little men care about this. They don't even... this is not even something that's on a man's radar, I guarantee you. He's probably thinking about what work he has to do for today. He's probably more interested and more actively thinking about his video game than whatever the hell this woman's spewing on about. Oh, she doesn't have caller ID on. I wonder about blah, 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 blah. No, you've already lost me. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a damn. Okay, so she's making this elaborate plan here about how you have to turn caller ID off and you have to say that it's for work, and the man's going to be perpetually thinking about you because every time he checks his phone, you understand, most dudes, they just answer their phone. They don't even they just answer the phone. They're not thinking about you. They're not thinking years into the future. Oh wow, this is the exact same thing that this woman no, man, they're not. They don't care. Okay, dudes are just trying to make it through the day. They really do not care about you.
They think because it happened to them that the inverse is true when it happens to men, when
exactly
nothing could be further from the truth. So here's the truth, woman. Just because Pookie Hauser MD called you from an unlisted number does not mean that men are going to obsess over you when you do the same thing, because men actually have common sense. If they see a phone call from an unrecognized number, odds are we're just gonna let it go to voicemail because it's probably not worth our time.
Yeah, exactly. You You just go, oh, okay, no big deal. And then you either answer the phone or you don't answer the phone. Not that complicated.
If there's a voicemail, there'll be a contact number that we can return the call, and then we'll move on from there. However, if we don't hear anything, it was most likely a spam call anyways and not all that important. And
Yeah, exactly. So this woman's whole plan, ironically enough, just ends up with her getting completely ignored in the future. Genius, absolute genius. Guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. I don't think my sanity can handle it any longer. So don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. How have the women on today's episode been doing, guys? Have they been giving fantastic advice to women? Are they going to finally lock down their dream man? No pun intended. Let me know down in the comments. As always, guys, make sure to take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.